welcome to Reading Corner. We're going to read Misty the Storm tonight. It's based off of the stories from Margaret Henry. It was written by Joan Nichols and illustrated by Stephen Moore.
Here we go.
Here we go. Once again, it was pony pennying day on Chincoteague. The wild ponies had been captured, and 100 strong had swum across the channel from Antitique Island. Now they were tired. Slowly, sadly, they paraded through the main street of Chincoteague. Only Misty looks happy, Marine Beebe thought. Who's the chestnut mare with the white mark on her shoulders? Someone shouted. It's the Phantom, someone else yelled back, and she's got a colt. And Paul Beebe caught her, a third person added. The news raced from person to person. Paul Beebe got the Phantom. She's leading a colt. At supper that evening, Grandma Beebe said to Grandpa, "Why are you so twittery tonight?" "Partly it's the storm coming up," Grandpa answered. "Makes my bones ache." He turned to Paul and Marine. "But mostly, it's the scheme you two have of buying the Phantom." No one in sound mind ever buys a 3-year-old wild pony, he said and shook his head. She is too used to running free. You'll never gentle her. After supper, Paul and Marine hurried to the pony pens. Each wild stallion had bunched his mares around him. The Phantom was in the Pied Piper's band. As the children approached, she snorted nervously, her ears twitching. But Misty seemed to enjoy being admired. Paul and Marine thought she was the finest colt in the world.
You forgot to show them socks.
They saw both of them.
This one.
I showed them both. Paul and Marine wandered about the grounds, stopping to look over the older colts huddled in a pen for tomorrow's auction. The wind started blowing in great gusts. Lightning shot across the sky. Suddenly Grandpa appeared. "The storm is here," he shouted to make himself heard above the wind. "Paul, you stay and help the fire chief. Marine, you come home with me." Turning to leave, Grandpa called back over his shoulder, "Paul, if the storm worsens, get into our truck. I left it over near the pony pen."
That's a really scary picture. That's even scarier.
Paul could hear the fire chief shouting instructions at his helpers. Suddenly, the chief called out, "Everyone go home. Nothing we can do now." Paul didn't leave. He felt the rain beat down, cold and hard, like gunshot. How could Misty stand it? She must be scared, he thought. I know. I'll put her inside the truck until the storm is over.
It might be a couple days. Don't you think?
We'll see. Paul scanned the corral looking for the Pied Piper's band. Darkness closed in. He held his breath, waiting for another flash of lightning. Good! There was the stallion's creamy white mane. Quickly, Paul scrambled over the fence. He waited again for the lightning. It came tearing across the sky. He could see the Pied Piper's family, but Phantom and Misty were not among them. Maybe another stallion has... Oops, I forgot to show the picture. Okay. Maybe another stallion has stolen them, he thought. Drenched and shivering, he ran from one band to another. He stumbled over tree stumps and fell into water, his mouth gritty with sand and mud. Still he went on, but nowhere in the whole corral could he find the Phantom or her colt. Sick with fear, Paul headed towards Grandpa's truck. He would get inside and think about what to do. Could the Phantom have leapt the fence? Could Misty have rolled under it? He stopped short. There, in the back of the truck, something stirred. Trembling, he waited for a flash of lightning, hoping that he had really seen what he thought he had. He had. Paul laughed with joy and relief. So that's why Grandpa's face was dirty and his shirt was torn. He had put the ponies into the truck before the storm broke. Paul ran around to the cab and opened the door. The strong smell of Grandpa's tobacco was everywhere. Paul stripped off his wet shirt and jeans and put on Grandpa's old rain jacket. Slowly and carefully he climbed into the truck. He heard the phantom neigh with fear.
Does Duke ever sleep?
Yeah, he sleeps, baby. Paul tensed. The phantom might charge him. Seconds passed. He could hear rain spilling down the truck's sides. He could smell warm, furry bodies. Then lightning flashed. He could see the phantom's tail wisping nervously over Misty. He relaxed. She wasn't going to charge. After a while, the phantom began to trust him. She would doze off for a few seconds at a time. She seemed to know they were all in this together. 3 wet creatures seeking shelter from the storm. Paul longed to touch the pony's soft fur, but he shouldn't. It would only frighten them. To stop himself, he put his hand into his pocket. He felt something sticky.
Well, I wonder what it is.
He pulled it out, a twist of Grandpa's chewing tobacco. The smell of molasses filled his nostrils. Ponies love molasses. Breaking off a small piece, he held it in the palm of his hand. He waited a long time. When he got too tired, he sank down onto the cold, wet floor. Still, he held his hand out. Perhaps he was foolish, he thought. Wild creatures stay away from humans. They don't eat from their hands. And yet he waited. He listened to the storm bell in the bay. He listened to the rain. He felt sweat running down his back. He was hot, then cold. His arm grew numb, then full of pins and needles. He needed to sleep. His head ached. His hand was about to drop. Then he heard a hoof move forward 1 small step, then a long pause, then another step, and another. A warm breath blew against his palms. Tiny hairs tickled it. Soft lips nuzzled it. The tobacco was gone. Excitement thrilled through Tom's body. I cannot read. Okay, I'm going to try that sentence again. Excitement thrilled through Paul's body. A wild creature, so wild that for 3 years she could not be caught. A creature whom everyone said would never be tamed. This wild creature, this phantom, had eaten out of the palm of his hand. The storm quieted. Paul could hear the phantom chewing. He tried to stay awake, to enjoy the pleasant sound, but he was too tired. He fell into deep sleep. He didn't wake when Phantom nosed him. He didn't wake when Misty, exhausted, fell across his lap. Soon, all 3 slept.
Was it never ending?
No. That's how Grandpa found them in the morning.
Yeah, we have to go for a minute.
I hope you enjoyed Misty the Storm. Bye.